Naso CC is a contact center, call center, statistics software allowing to process incoming and outgoing telecom traffic in your office. Naso CC extends functionality of your Grandstream UCM with functions typical for contact center or call center system like traffic management, agents applications which allow to log to the system, display calling clients information, statistics on calls and work time. Naso CC allows you to integrate existing customer database to display information about them during incoming call. Naso CC can work either with any IP phone, displaying all information on agent's application, or with the soft phone, which is built in the agent application. Type of the phones we just define in line definition in Supervisor. We enable or disable soft phone for this user. Current version of Naso CC also allow you to use concurrent connections on the extensions, so you can define many devices that will use the same extension. So you can use your IP hard phone together with soft phone built in Naso CC agents and pick up the phone whenever you want. At the top of the screen we have the information about our current status. Still it's active. We have the information we are logged into the queue, the information when we have changed the status. Here we can change the status to break, which we can define in Supervisor, and for each break we can define if we are logged to the queue or not. So now it's disappeared the information about queue, so we are logged out from the queue. If clients will call to us via queue, telephone will not ring. I can change the status again to active and I'm logged to the queue. Here we have the information about other persons in the company, so we see who one is logged into the system, what's his status, if they are using the phone or not. Here we have the information about the call, if it will come or will do the connection. In a moment I will make a test call, so we'll see what kind of information are displayed here. Below we have the soft phone application where we can make a call. We can eventually set the auto answer options or do not disturb. Here we can define which device, which audio device we will use for the soft phone. Now we will make a test call. We see that we have an incoming call. I can just answer it. We have the information. We are talking with extension 298. We have the call duration. Here we have the information about the clients from the database, the name of the contact, comments, information who is the account manager for this client, information about lost call, so we know who was talking with this client, if the call was answered or not. Here we can add some comments to this call, or we can define type of the call or category. All these types and categories we are defining in Supervisor, so you can define it as you want, which are necessary for your company. If we'll end the call, this information about the comments will be automatically saved in the database. Now we can go to calls tab. Here we will see the history of all calls which were made by us. And we see the previous call, and these comments were automatically saved also with the category. If we want to change these comments or add some new notes after the end of the call, we can click on change and again add some more information. Also, it's possible to add a task. So if we were talking with the client and we have to do something, we can make a task to have a reminder that there are some work to do. We are making comments, and here we can assign the task. It's not assigned, so it will be on the list for all agents, or we can assign to us or to someone else to perform this task. Next up, SMS will display all the SMS messages which were sent or received from the system. But this functionality requires external VoIP GSM gateway. As now we are integrated with D-Star devices, so if you have such a device, you can configure it to use with Naso and send and receive the SMS messages from this application. Next up, customers. It's a customers database. You can search for the clients. We will receive the list of the clients which will match your criteria, and directly from here you can make a call. You can click on the number and make a call, or click on email to launch automatically your default mail client to prepare a mail. For employees tab, you have similar functionality, but for stuff from your company, so you can quickly search for the employees, find his phone or extension in the UCM PBX or mobile phone and make a call. Chat will allow us to talk together between agents, either send the messages to all agents or select specific agent and make a private chat. Tasks will display all the tasks that are waiting for me. I will see the list of the tasks with the dates, when it should be finished, the phone number linked to this task, description of the task. If I will click on the number, I can automatically dial to this client. Here it's for me, for all, and my unfinished tasks, so I see the status of all tasks I've created in the system. Statuses, this will display my statuses, history of my statuses from today, so we can see how much time I spent for each type of activity. The last tab, lost contacts, very important tab. Here we have the information about all lost contacts from the clients. Which numbers will be displayed here? If client is calling to us and the call will be not answered, so either it was ringing at someone or waiting in the queue, it will add to this list. When the number can disappear from this list, there are two options. First one, that the client will call again and this time call will be answered. And the second possibility, that we'll call back to this client and we'll talk with them. So it's very easy to get all the list of contacts that we have to contact because we lost the contact from the client. Agent can also look at the information about queue length in the PBX. If we will call and the call will go through the queue, here we will have the information about queue length. Now we'll see that call is coming through the queue. So first we have the information here, which queue is the calling, and the information about the length of the queue. And now we are talking with the client. Again, we have the information about the company, person, comments about this client. We can make a notes about the call. Other menus, it's shortcuts to today's calls, list of calls, when you can select here the date range, type of the calls, statuses either for the list or the summary of the reports, so how many times were in total spent today on the statuses. We can change the settings, so we can set if Naso agent will be pop up during an incoming call, set the reminder if we are on the break. The last tab is customers, so we can search for the client or add new clients to the database. Agent can add clients manually one by one during the call or just between calls. We can add persons on the company. If we want to import our existing database, we can do it from the supervisor. Naso CC agent can also work in automatic outbound campaign. So when agent is logged into the system, automatically new clients will be served to the agent, and he will call to the client, talk with them, make some notes, call reports, and it will automatically process him through the group of the clients. Now I will show the second part of Naso CC. It's a supervisor application. So the application for making configuration of the system, reports, searching for specific calls, information about call traffic. On the main screen, we have the information about line statuses of all extensions that we are monitoring. We'll see the line status, so it's idle, talking, or ringing, information about caller ID and direction of the call, but also the information about which agent is logged in and what is his status. If agent will change the status, it will automatically refresh with the information. It's also display online all the information about traffic. So if we will make a call, it will automatically display the information about existing active calls. Now we see that lines are calling. If one of the lines will answer, we have here extension 298 has answered the call, and he is now talking with this caller ID. It's an incoming call and the information when call was started. Here we have the information about queues, so we see the queue lengths in the system. So this is the online view of the system. Now we'll go to some statistics. We have call lists. This functionality allows you to browse for the calls. You can select, search for the calls by different criteria. If we'll just click on search, we'll receive the list of all calls. We have the information about the line, agent, call direction, status of the call, either it was answered or missed, date and hour of the call, caller ID, duration of the call, client's name if it was found in our database, answering time. We have the information how much time the phone was ringing. Next we have total waiting time. So we have the time from the when the call was picked up by the PBX and play all messages waiting in the queue. So we have the information how long client was waiting in total for answering the calls. Here we have comments, category, information about the queue if call was coming through the queue. It could also be information about on hold time and the information if call was transferred to any extension. Of course, we can export this list to the text file if we want to process this information in the external programs. Here we have also two buttons to play or save the call recording. This functionality is available only if we have also license for Chromis Rec for our call recording management. In such case, you have both information, details about the call and the call recording in one place. So these statistics allow us to get the list of calls. If we want to make some in total statistics, we just here have all up reports. We define the period which we want to make a report. We select time period, click on show report, and now we can build our own report. For example, here it's a report splitted by agent name, where we have information number of calls and duration of calls. We can build our custom reports where we can select necessary information from the list. For example, status. I will add call status, and we add to the items to the report by simple drag and drop functionality. And we have here now it's splitted by answered and missed calls. The same can be done for other items. For example, I want to make a per day report, so I will see for each day report. Such a report we can export to many different formats, or we can save structure of such a report to a file, and in next time we can use the schema of the report for the new data. The same type of report we have graph reports, which we also define time period for the report. And we have similar functionality with cube structure, but this time it's a graph represented report. Next report is a lost contacts. It's the same report as is available for agent. So here supervisor can also look at the list of missed calls. Next one, statuses. It's a list of statuses of agent, so we can look at the agent activity, how long they were active or on a break, or how many calls they have processed in total. The same is for tasks. We can look at the tasks that should be done for the agents, or we can create a new task or import from the list and make a batch import for the tasks. Within Naso, there is a customer database which is integrated in the program. We can just display the information, search for the specific client, or add manually one by one clients, or import customers database from the file where we have a list of necessary fields that are required for the import. Naso Supervisor also is a tool for configuring the whole system. So we have information about queues, about the available users or configuration. This part is in details described in another presentation about the installation and configuration of the system. Another functionality of the Naso is the outbound campaigns. We can define outbound campaigns that will automatize the work of agents. We create a campaign with a specific target group where we want to call. We can create a call script or make any reports. For each campaign, we define this target group, we define agents which will be included in the campaign, activity hours, and we can define basic parameters of the campaign. All this information about outbound campaigns are described more in details in another presentation about the parameterization of outbound campaigns, available also in video tutorials. Now we will show how this outbound campaigns works in agent application. Now we see that agent is logged into the system, but his status is a break, so no calls will be served to this agent. If I will change the status to active, we see we have a new client from the campaign which is served to me, and we have the information that we will call to this client in 20 seconds. Here I have information: campaign name, name of the client, phone, email, and the target. If I don't want to wait to make a call, I can just click here, make call, and start dialing to the client earlier than it will be forced automatically. Now we are dialing to the client. We are answering the call, and now we can just start talking with the client or add some actions. For example, we can schedule the contact for another day and another hour, and we can define when to contact this client if now he cannot talk with you. We can just mark it they are not interested in the offer, so we will close this client within this campaign. We can mark this client as a Robinson's list, so he rejects talking with us, and also he's rejecting to be included in all other campaigns. We can mark that he's, for example, quickly busy, call in 15 minutes, if the wrong number, or we are just talking with the client, making some notes. We can define here mark if he is interested in the offer, or we have sent the offer to this client during the our conversation. If it's we have defined previously some email templates, we can just send here, select the template and send to this client. In campaign info, we have this description which we defined in Supervisor, so agent can see this information. In case we will define a script, here will be the information about the script. We have to answer the questions and follow the script with the call. Now we are finishing the call. We have the information closing client in 2 minutes, so we have some time to finalize report on this client. If we have finished, we click on next client, and because we still inactive, we just have another client served. We have the information about this call. We can just wait this 15 seconds and the system will force us dialing to this client. We hear the voice which reminds us that the call will be done, and now we are calling to this new client.
Twoje połączenie jest pierwsze w kolejce i zostanie odebrane przez pierwszego dostępnego konsultanta.
We just finished the call. Let's assume that this phone was busy, so we can just click call in 15 minutes and it will be automatically scheduled for the next 15 minutes call. Again, we have next client. We are just making the call. This time we can assume it's also busy, so we can either click busy call in 15 minutes or just close the client and he will return to the queue, and with the next attempt they will call to this client. Now we have processed 3 clients, so this is our whole database for this campaign, so we have no other campaigns served to this client. If there will be more clients in the database, agent will follow with the next calls. Now if we will go back to the supervisor, we can again look at the target group. If I will click refresh, I will see the statuses of the calls. So we have one record finished with the information where the call was performed. The second was is scheduled. If we will move here, we have the information that this call is scheduled for today at 11:46, and one record was not processed, was processed, but the call was busy and we did not schedule this call for a specific time, but it just returned to us in the next attempt of dialing. The minimum time between one and another calling by default is defined to 2 hours to avoid the situation that we will call the same client very often. Now we can also look for some basic reports. We have a list of all performed calls with the information about comments if they are interested in the product or just send some information. We have the reports about this campaign, so we have information how many clients are awaiting, how many are scheduled, We can see the information's daily performance, so see how many calls were performed per day or just per agent. System allows us to run many campaigns in the same time, so we can define many campaigns, create different campaigns for different agents, or include the same agent in different campaigns. Each time agent will receive the new client from campaign, he will see which campaign it is attached. Here we can see on this list the campaigns with current statuses, number of agents which are included in the campaign, number of clients, and the process of the campaign, how many clients were already processed in the system.